Hello noble ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and today we're going to talk about the Elder Scrolls series again. As a matter of fact, a few days ago I uploaded a video where I talked about the Imperial sets of armor in all three Elder Scrolls 3, 4 and 5, and I noticed that in the comment section a lot of people actually started arguing about which Elder Scrolls is the best game. Now, since I noticed I actually enjoyed that video, then I decided not only that I will make more videos and historical evaluations of the armor sets and the weapons in the Elder Scrolls series games, including Elder Scrolls Online of course, but I have also decided to tell you which one of the three Elder Scrolls that I've played would be my favorite. So I'd like to structure this video the following manner. We will talk about story, environment, gameplay, the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild, because these were my favorite guilds ever, and then we will talk a little bit about the leveling up system. Now, out of the three games, I have to say that the one that I really enjoyed the most as far as the story was concerned was indeed Skyrim. Why? Because I just loved the idea of the Dovahkiin. Perhaps it's not as original as the storyline in Morrowind, and although the whole idea of having to close shut the jaws of Oblivion and all the gates around the world was also quite epic, nothing is as epic as the Dovahkiin as far as I'm concerned. In the Elder Scrolls series, Skyrim definitely takes the token. Talking about the environment, now this is a very difficult one. In this one, however, I think Skyrim is the third, because of course graphics are much better in terms of the actual engine that the game is running on, so that's obviously clear that you've got much more texture and therefore it will look prettier from a technical point of view. But I have to say that for some reason I've never really been a big fan of winter games or games filled with snow and cold, perhaps because I'm southern Italian, not sure, but that's the thing. In fact, my favorite area to roam and walk around in Skyrim would be the southeast, with all those beautiful orange and yellow trees and nice, calm waters and everything. That was the part that I enjoyed the most. Again, I don't dislike entirely snowy areas, it's fine, but there is a bit too much in Skyrim for my personal taste. Now, Morrowind and Oblivion, which one will be the best one as far as the setting is concerned? Well, that's a very difficult one. Very difficult, because of course Morrowind was more original. Like, I will never forget those times when I went through and exploring all those interesting plains with all those strange rocky mountains, not to mention the mushroom trees. Mushroom trees! That was amazing! And shall we talk about silt striders? That is amazing. I don't know who came up with that idea, but I would definitely give him a kilo of pasta as a gift, because he definitely deserves it. I mean, think about it. Creatures are the actual means of civilian transport. I mean, nothing against Skyrim and the normal caravan and everything. You've got the lad that takes you around in the little wagon. Of course, it's more historical, and I love historical accuracy. But silt striders, such an elaborate network stretching from city to city in Vardenfell, and the way they actually work is fantastic. If we just imagine the way a silt strider function, it's moved by direct manipulation of exposed organs and tissues by the caravaner, and it actually has a compartment which is carved within the chitin shell of the animal for the passengers to seat. Fantastic. But for some reasons, those beautiful colors of Oblivion, those rich forests with yellow and green and red trees, oh, those rivers and sweet hills. Oblivion indeed takes the crown as far as I'm concerned for the setting. The world is just beautiful. I loved particularly the forests, woods and groves. I reckon I spent hours of gameplay just going through those forests and, occasionally fighting a suicidal thug who never stood a chance, but still, just beautiful. You can't beat that. Now, moving on to gameplay, of course in a game like this, gameplay will come, and it's what you do for most of the game anyways. Now, I don't like the combat system in Morrowind. I understand that it's supposed to look more like an RPG and an actual role-playing game, one of those table role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and all those, and I have played those, so I understand that. It's all meant, what's important is the skill of the character, not the actual fact that you are hitting with the animation with your weapon, but it felt strange. The idea of swinging my weapon and you can actually see the 3D weapon going through the person, but it just doesn't hit, and that drove me nuts. So I can understand how some people might like it, might even think it's better, but I did not like it. Instead, when Oblivion came out and I saw this combat system, which again, it will have its flaws indeed, but it was a huge improvement as far as I'm concerned, because first of all, you could finally rise up the shield with a freaking button. That was amazing. That was like, I think it's one of the first games that allows you to do that. And after all the hours spent in MMORPGs where you don't actually use the shield and it's just a stat that increases your overall armor, and I think even a game like Dragon Age Origins where you don't even move the character for fighting, it was nice to actually, it felt more realistic that I was supposed to hold the button down, left trigger, to keep the shield up and in position. It felt like an active defense, how a shield should be. And also the fact that there was more physics, you could hit objects and they would fly around. I just preferred it. I think it was just better. And I think combat system is very similar in Skyrim, but probably Skyrim does do a little bit of a better job with the combat, because you can actually dual wield, which was something really cool that I enjoyed doing with my elven character, High Elf, or the fact that you could use magic from your hands, and so you could equip two different spells, or if you equip the same spell on both hands, it will be stronger or it will be quicker. You know, that was cool. So I will give the edge as far as gameplay is concerned to Skyrim. Side quests. Side quests are important in these games, and these side quests are most of the times have to do, at least the most important side quests in these games have to do with the guilds. Now, again, my favorite guilds are the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild. They are the ones that I enjoyed the most. Fighters Guild is okay. Mage Guild, never really played it because I never play a magician. You give me armor, you give me a sword, you give me a shield, and I'm happy. So I can't really speak for those, although of course the Fighters Guild is very interesting in Skyrim. It's very, very Nordic and Germanic, and that's cool. But the Dark Brotherhood was really fun. Now, interestingly enough, as far as I'm concerned, the Dark Brotherhood was much better in Oblivion. I enjoyed it a lot more. I liked the location. I liked the fact that I had to go to an Italian vampire. An Italian vampire! Mamma mia, il vampiro italiano, fantastico. That was cool, that was cool. So I enjoyed it. I liked the way they were dressed with a black robe, and the missions were fun, and the skeleton was walking around and he was your mate. I had a skeleton mate, that was cool. Skyrim was also fun. The location, you know, it's a bit out there, isn't it, in the middle of nothing, and I don't know, I prefer the idea of having it within the town and just no one knows it. Well, for some reason I just enjoyed it much more. For the Thieves Guild, however, it's the complete opposite. I did not like the Thieves Guild in Oblivion. It was not fun and I didn't even complete it, but I enjoyed it a heck of a lot in Skyrim. It was amazing. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the ending quest was just blew my mind, the things that happened. It's amazing. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. The quests were better. The Thieves Guild headquarters are just amazing, with all that water and the way it's hidden, and then how you can actually have that person change your face there, and it's just fantastic. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was much of a better catch. Last but not least, the leveling up system, the skills and everything. Now, the skills and the skill tree, skills definitely improve in Skyrim as far as I'm concerned. I like it more, and I like the whole, not only the interface, but the way they function. Oblivion sometimes was a bit strange. Of course, you had a class, so it was different. You could even make your own class, which was fun. But my goodness, even just the fact that I've managed to bring Armorer to level 100 in Skyrim means that I really enjoyed the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. But one huge problem with Oblivion, and in this case, I think Morrowind is doing a better job. In fact, I will give point to Morrowind for this one, is the fact that the game scales up with you, and that was a huge mistake. What I like about role-playing games is the fact that when you find a very strong boss that you just can't kill, you just start killing monsters, you level up, and you wipe the floor with him. But that's not possible in Oblivion, because the more you level up, the stronger the enemies will be. Everyone will level up with you, and so you just end up walking around and you just find just a stupid thug wearing full glass armor. Full glass armor! You know how long it took me to find a freaking fluke? Where the heck did you find full glass armor? So it just takes away the whole concept of leveling up. Leveling up sometimes is not even a good idea. I think you can actually beat the whole game without even leveling up. So this is just to me that didn't work. It just didn't. It wasn't interesting. Of course, I really enjoyed Oblivion, and I mostly leveled up only because I wanted to get the better equipment because it looks better. It would have been better if they hadn't done that, in my humble opinion. And Morrowind does give you that idea. Skyrim, I think it's better than Oblivion because you still have a little bit of scaling, but not as much as Oblivion does. But Morrowind was the best one as far as this is concerned, because if you went to a high level area, you would be doomed. Whereas if you went to a very low level area, and you were high level, you could basically destroy everything, like, you know, being devastating. And that's how a role-playing game should be. It should reward you for leveling up. So, in conclusion, which one is my favorite Elder Scrolls games and which one is the Elder Scrolls games that I have enjoyed the most? Well, it was Oblivion. I just loved the setting, and for me the setting is almost the most important thing, together with the gameplay, of course. Skyrim and Morrowind are two fantastic games and definitely some of my favorite games ever, but Oblivion just made some memories that I will never forget. I will never forget the first time I've actually seen the night sky, which for me still remains the best looking night sky ever created. So what's your favorite Elder Scrolls? Please let me know in the comments below. Alright then, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content from the Metatron. I will see you tomorrow, and remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.